So today we're going to be talking about The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Dragon, or whatever it's really called. I don't remember. I literally just saw this movie an hour ago, and I don't remember what it was even called. And I think that's mainly because I don't really know much about the Mummy movies because I haven't watched them. So, because of that, I think I need to do a little independent research. Just give me a second. And this is how we came to The Mummy becoming such a popular money-making franchise. Spawning a sequel, which also did financially well, and people seemed to enjoy it along with the first one. A third movie that made money, but critics and audiences weren't too big on it. Okay, I think that perfectly explained everything. Let's go. So we begin with a lot of backstory. Apparently 3 movies in and we're done with the ancient Egypt setting, since we are now shifting gears to ancient China, as we learn of a tyrannical emperor played by Jet Li, who forced his people to build the Great Wall, which slowly killed off his people. Oh, okay, I know where this is going. Yeah, this is the part of the video where the lefty YouTuber has to make some kind of Trump joke because wall construction and tyrannical leader and what's not. Let me tell you something. That's not how we do things here. I personally believe you should be able to joke about whatever you want because every American has freedom of speech. Unless it's something that personally offends me, in which case you are not allowed to joke about it. The Emperor finds out that his lover is having an affair with another man. Enraged by this, he puts a curse on everybody. But conveniently, his girlfriend just so happens to be a witch, who turns him and his men into statues. Now, with all of that out of the way, we finally see our lead, played by Brendan Fraser. Here, we get to see some bumbling slapstick as he accidentally hooks himself in the neck and later falls off of a tree branch that he climbed up. Because when I think of a big summer blockbuster action movie, I immediately think of slapstick. And really, this is supposed to be our main character. I mean, geez, I know I never saw the first 2 movies, but oh my gosh. Oh, and he does the most American thing ever. Shoot at fish with a gun. And you know why he does this? Because he can. Because this is the land of opportunity. Because this is America! Anyway, after that, we see the main female lead and wife of Brendan Fraser's character, Evelyn, who I am informed was played by Rachel Weisz in the first 2, and not here for some reason. Only a few minutes in, and I can say I do not blame her.
Is the Scarlett O'Keefe character really based on you?
Honestly, I can say she's a completely different person.
So while eating a fish dinner with a bullet still inside of it, they discuss how much they miss their son, who I am informed was a 10-year-old British person in the other movies, but here is played by a true blue American. And he also looks like he's about 10 years younger than Brendan Fraser.
You know, when I saw you standing up there, I thought I was looking at your father. You really are Rick O'Connell's son.
Yeah, well, hopefully after today, you'll be known as Alex O'Connell's father.
Oh great! Another iconic action movie franchise for Shia LaBeouf to come in and ruin with his mere presence. Sorry, I don't really know a lot of actors because I don't watch a lot of movies outside of like Pure Flix and old VeggieTales tapes and Turner Classic Movies. Because that's real American cinema. Sure, the movies may have been in black and white, but you know what, back then, they weren't as political as they are now. Not like every movie I don't go to see, because nowadays every movie has to have the woke mind virus.
You remember the time the mummy had me tied down, and you came to save me, and you you tore open the ropes is what you did. Just as he was about to plunge his...
So the son, whose name is Alex, and his men discover an ancient tomb. Well, gee, could this be the tomb of evil Jet Li and his men from the beginning? I wonder. Huh, I didn't know ancient China had Rube Goldberg machines. Wait a second, Rube Goldberg. That might be a little too obscure for certain audiences. Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure everybody got that reference. That's topical, right? So while Alex gets attacked by a woman ninja who is definitely not going to be his love interest later on in the movie, just you wait and see, his parents, Rick and Evelyn, are given a mission to return this thing back to China, not only where their son happens to be, but also where Evelyn's brother, who owns a bar out there, is also located. Oh, how the turntables. And hey, why don't we make it even more obvious that Minnesota Cuke was an inspiration for these movies by having Fraser wear a fedora in this scene. But these generic European bad guys show up and nab the thing that will bring the Emperor back to life. Oh no, what a shame. Well, I didn't know statues could breathe fire. This movie really is as educational as The Magic Voyage was. It's really ahead of its time, I gotta say.
You wait for me! I'm coming with you! Wait,
Oh, good going. The thing you brought to life just came to life and next thing you know, took your head clean off. Hope you're proud. And now a chase scene through the streets, and even Evelyn's brother tags along with them. So they launch a firework at them, but the bad guys kung fu kick it into a tram car, and then our heroes crash through a wall so flimsy that even the Kool-Aid Man would say that it was Bush League. Okay, whoa, hold the phone. Did he just throw his own skull at them to try and throw them off his trail? You realize that's incredibly inefficient, right? What are you even doing? Like, what did you think that was going to accomplish? You are terrible movie villains, you know that? You know what? I hate to do it, but add it to the sins counter. The bad guys manage to get away, and the heroes abandon the Jeep before it crashes. Yeah, none of them would be seriously injured from jumping off of a car going that speed or anything. But at least they know where they have to go. They decide that they will follow them to the Himalayas in pursuit of Shangri-La, a legendary Tibetan city. Well, that's incredibly easy. If these ancient Chinese soldiers want to know how to get to Shangri-La, what they need to do is listen to the Insane Clown Posse album, The Wraith from 2004. There's a whole song in there about Shangri-La and everything. I know this because I listened to this entire album because someone told me it was a Christian album. And they were technically right. Whoop whoop, ninjas. So the main characters hop a plane to the Himalayas, which also has a cow or a yak of some kind. I'm fairly convinced they only put it in there for this bad attempt at a joke.
What is that god-awful smell?
Yacked!
And now in another Okie Dokie Jones-influenced moment, as the plane that they're in almost goes over a cliff, but thankfully doesn't. Because if they were to all just be game-ended right then and there, then we wouldn't have a movie now, would we? That night, over the campfire, we get some awkward character development between mother and son.
Had my fair share of experience with the opposite sex.
Really? How many experiences are we talking about?
You shouldn't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, okay, Mom?
And then him and that female ninja flirt with each other. At least I think that's what this is supposed to be. Cut to the next day and we see them trekking across the mountainsides, letting the cow or yak or whatever head off on its own, making me wonder why it was even there.
Yacked!
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen a Walter P-38?
It's pretty anemic compared to the Peacekeeper.
Well, it's not about size, Dad. It's about stamina.
It's like a double entendre! Boys will be boys, am I right or am I right? And now a gunfight with some more bad guys, and then yetis show up. Yeah, yetis. They're just a part of the movie now. Why not? At this point, why not throw in leprechauns? It wouldn't make any less sense than what we've seen so far. This is like 10,000 BC levels of accuracy. Well, if anything, they're good yetis who take out the bad guys. Oh yeah, look at that. That 2008 level Sagai animation. It's real good. Just as it seems the good guys are going to win, the Emperor shows up and causes an avalanche. The yetis protect the good guys, the Emperor opens up the thing and opens the gates to Shangri-La, and it appears that Rick is going to be dided. But in the next scene, he's perfectly fine. Once the characters are in Shangri-La, Alex and the ninja lady fall in love and get together. Yeah, great, thank you for that. Next scene! Okay, is it just me, or does anyone else think that he sounds like a poor man's General Grievous? I swear, I wish I was watching Attack of the Clones right now. I really do. And then the Emperor embraces the all-powerful McMuffin and turns into a three-headed dragon.
And I transform into the dragon from Game of Thrones too. I breathe fire up in skies.
The dragon flies off and the heroes leave. Alex manages to get ahead of them and notices the army has been awakened by the dragon. Who's no longer a dragon anymore? Why would you not be that thing anymore? It's a giant lizard thing that flies around and spits fire. Either way, the army are here and walking as stiff as humanly possible, mostly because they're made out of pottery.
Seize this moment to take your victory, to take your justice, and to take your revenge!
So now it's flower pot people against the undead. All the while, they make a bunch of jokes between the giant Sagai animation fest, with these two continuing to transform into things like a werewolf or something like that. Oh, come on, now you're just showing off.
Seems a feeling mutual.
Shut up, Playboy!
Die, you mummy bastards, die!
There is no call for bad language.
Hammer meets nail. I finally have a character in a movie that I can relate to. You saw that, right? He just threw a bomb overhand and it took out all those guys without hitting any of the good guys. It's almost like that's incredibly convenient or something. Rick and Alex fight the Emperor, and because of his newly found powers, they need to stab him with some special sacrificial dagger or something, because I guess they did that in the other movies, or whatever. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. The point is, the good guys win, the soldiers are defeated and turned into dust, the zombies can finally rest in peace, and we end with what I can only assume is their attempt at a sequel bait that never happened.
Ciao, ciao, Shanghai. Peru, here I come.
So that was The Mummy 3. It was certainly a film. I actually don't know what to say. Maybe it's just because I'm not too familiar with this franchise, because I haven't seen the first two, and I had to watch someone else's video to explain why these movies got so big. But really, this is just a dumb summer action movie that has a bunch of explosions and fight scenes and a bunch of stuff that might keep the crowd entertained for a little bit. But even someone like me, who can look past certain things, for the most part, I don't really know what to say, honestly. I mean, I'm someone that likes the Star Wars prequels for crying out loud, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not cut out for reviewing big summer blockbusters. Unless they came out recently, in which case I can accuse them of being socialist woke garbage. I mean, I'm just saying, if we were talking about the recent Star Wars movies, or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, maybe I would have had something more to talk about, but, I don't know. It's probably better I watched this, honestly. I mean, at least this movie wasn't offensively bad or anything. It was just kind of silly. Anyway, I have one more video for June, but I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be talking about. They keep telling me it's some kind of surprise, but either way, until next time, may Jesus be with you.